Mic check. Sounds pretty good. Another mic check. Sounds good. I think the mix is prime. Good evening, and welcome to the stream. It has been a very long time since I streamed anything, and I have just been reminded of the reason that I do not stream very much anymore. It's because it is a lot of work to set everything up, especially when you haven't done it for a while. Yeah, so I'm at like 90 minutes so far tonight, and you know, I think I'm hoping to do maybe like an hour-long stream, so I probably will have spent more time setting things up than actually streaming. But nonetheless, yeah, we'll get into it. I also didn't plan anything. I didn't plan like an introduction. I probably should have planned an introduction. If I had planned an introduction, I would have had a better introduction. But in any case, you probably read the title, and you probably understand that tonight I'm going to be playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and if you looked up the airport codes, you will notice that they are all in Hawaii. So the first one is Hilo Airport, which is on the east or northeast side of the Big Island, and then the second one is Kona, which is on the west side of the Big Island, and then the third one is Honolulu International. And the reason I am flying to these airports tonight is because I recently got back from a trip to Hawaii, in which I flew into Kona, and then flew from Kona over to Honolulu. I did not fly through Hilo on this trip, but I thought it would be cool to include just because it's a very scenic route flying from Hilo around to Kona. And I had to start somewhere, and I didn't just want to do like a loop from Kona to Kona. So that's, yeah, that's the basic plan. I will also mention that part of the reason I recently got back into Microsoft Flight Simulator just in the last couple weeks here is because a friend who had recently traveled to Aspen said that he had an experience where on approach into Aspen, the pilot made an announcement that they may not be able to land. And that was due to basically low visibility at that airport. So yeah, he kind of gave me a bit of a challenge to land at Aspen in the worst conditions possible. And I gave that a really good try. But I think there's a problem with Microsoft Flight Simulator where the localizer does not work in Aspen. So, I mean, obviously, if it's the worst weather possible, you're talking extremely low visibility, where there is just simply no way to make an approach and land without using a localizer. So, in any case, I gave up on Aspen, and what I'm going to do today is use the worst weather possible on my approach into Kona, and I'll show you how I'm going to achieve that in a second. Tonight for both flights, so both the Hilo to Kona and the Kona to Honolulu flights, I'm going to be using the fly-by-wire A320neo. This is my favorite plane. You know, it's free and it's just a much higher fidelity A320 than the stock A320 that comes with the game. For livery, I have a United livery, and I am using that because I flew United from Chicago into Kona, and for that flight I was actually on a 787, and I would love to have a high fidelity 787 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I don't. So yeah, A320neo, that's the plane that I know the best and am the best at flying, with the United livery. So I am going to actually select a specific runway here at Hilo because I want to be kind of facing the island as we take off, just for the sake of the view. So I'm going to select runway 26. At Kona, I landed toward the south, so I'm going to set that as my arrival. And then, okay, set as my arrival. There we go. I'm going to be using high altitude airways. I don't think we will get all that high, but I always set it to high altitude airways because I think it gives you the best. Well, yeah, actually, I've flown this route a long time ago, and it like almost flies you into the side of the mountain. So again, I think there's like a glitch with the, I guess it would be the air rack cycle that's built into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I actually just remembered I need to start my, I need to start up a couple things. There's my cat, enjoy that. So this is the fly-by-wire installer, and I am going to start the traffic injector. And I'm actually not sure. I'm trying to remember if these are the stock settings, because I need to turn down the settings because they were causing some issues. I think, yes, these must be the settings that I input manually because I divided them all by 2 and I don't remember having a fraction. So these must be the ones I entered manually. So I will say no, I don't want to change, and good, it'll pause until the sim is active. So that's the traffic injector. I also want to check to make sure that SimBridge is started and running. Excellent. That, I believe, provides improved air rack information to the sim. Okay, so that's all good there. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what departure I used before. Oh, what happened? Something did not work here. This is my departure. Okay, there we go. So departure, that looks better. It kind of hugs the coast. That's kind of what I'm going for. And then the approach, I am doing an what runway? Okay, yeah, 17, obviously. So I'm ILS on 17, and that actually looks like a really nice route. Just see what the alternatives are. Okay, obviously those don't make any sense, so we're gonna leave that as direct, and that looks like a good route. For flight conditions, I'm going to go ahead, 4:33 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and take off with the live time and weather, and I will modify the weather after we've had a chance to do some sightseeing and I get close to actually making that approach. So without further ado, I think that's just about all I need to get started here. While it loads in, I will go ahead and bring up SkyVector. And in a bit of a spooky way, it remembered where I was looking last. So I will bring up Kona and get the airport map open, and I was doing an ILS on 17. So here we have...
Hilo Tower to Fizzle 1 ready for IFR departure runway 26.
So I must be going through MUE right here. So it's MUE to Veki to Egypt, and then down to the runway. So the localizer intercept is at Egypt, and it is at an altitude of 1,500 feet. And I also want to check the localizer frequency as I get close.
Cleared for takeoff runway 26 to Fizzle 1.
For sure, as always, let me know if I have any audio issues. It's hard for me to tell. Oh, look at that. I'm just, I'm off-roading. Where's my plane going? It's literally just gonna go into the woods. I'm gonna crash. It's gonna crash. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is an absolute gem of a game. But it has some really, really weird bugs. It's actually incredibly buggy, and that's slightly disappointing. But it looks beautiful. I mean, it's the best looking flight simulator ever. It's incredible. So
Hilo Tower to Fizzle 1 at runway 26 ready for departure
let's not do that
IFR
again.
to Kona.
I'll click ready to fly, and it'll set me on the runway, and it will not do that. I hope. Okay, so that was a bit laggy. It's a little concerning. Have to forgive me. I am not working with the highest end joystick here, and I have no indents on my throttle, so it's very difficult to actually use that. Okay, so I didn't even bother to really look at my flight plan. I'm going to go ahead and set my heading to... Okay, I can't do that. I should be configured fine for takeoff. Check. Okay, so evidently it didn't really load in that flight plan, so I'm going to have to do it manually, and fortunately, I know how to do that. Let's see, what? KPH? Or no, just PHTO. Okay, so I'm going PHTO. PHKO. I wonder if P just stands for Pacific. There's no company route, flight number I'm not going to worry about. I'm just kind of messing around here. It's disfrip. What is the S for? Oh, secondary flipping? Cost index. Okay, you know what? I have a cheat sheet here. Let me look at something. I developed a cheat sheet years ago. Look at that, 2020. And it has some stuff. Diffsrip. I got that wrong. Check the database. Not going to do that. Init A, flight number, alternate, cost index. Somebody on the internet said use a 017 for the cost index. I can kind of tell you what that is. Basically, the airline sets a cost index, and that cost index has to do with how they want to balance the amount of time it takes to get somewhere versus like the the extra fuel burn. So in other words, what it's balancing is, I think, is like the operating costs of the plane, including like the salaries of the people on board, versus so they can make you get there faster to reduce the amount of time that those people are being paid. But to get you there faster, they have to increase the fuel burn. So I think it like factors all that in, and basically like the cost index you give it is what's gonna decide the various I guess mainly the cruise speed. So I'm pretty sure that is a mostly correct explanation. I didn't do a sim brief flight plan. I'm kind of gonna not worry about a bunch of this stuff because this is mostly just for fun. Flight level 180, I need to remember to set my altimeter to standard, and then I will deal with this stuff as I get closer. So I'm not gonna worry about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, but I have no flight plan currently, so I pretty much need to put that in. So I need a departure, and I was on runway 26, right? Am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I don't even remember which one I picked. I think it was the PPK one. Yeah, okay. Or was it this? No, it must be the PPK. So that's my SID. I don't remember where it went, but I'm just going to go ahead and insert that. PHKO, KO, my arrival needs to be ILS 17. And my VIA was mu. So let's see how that looks. That pretty much looks like how I remember it. So I'm going to hit insert. So the flight plan should be good to go. Now my heading, my autopilot has nav mode engaged. Speed mode will have to engage when I'm in the air. Let's see what else. Flaps are configured. Auto brake is max in case I need to abort the takeoff. Auto spoilers are armed again in case I need to abort the takeoff. And I think that's all I need to do. Oh look, there's another plane at the other end of the runway, and I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, here we go. Throttling up a little bit to start, and then all the way. It's actually a pretty nice view. Watching for my rotate speed, which is 150 knots. Hit that, gently pull back. Bring it up to 15 degrees. Throttling down slightly out of toga. Here comes up. Flaps come up. And
120.25 for Tafizzle 1. Hilo departure to Tafizzle 1 is at 1,500 feet, climbing 10,000 feet. Hilo departure altimeter 30.09er. Continue to PPKO as planned.
Get it relatively centered and engage the autopilot. Headed for 10,000 feet. Make sure that throttle's in the correct indent, which again is easy to do. Okay. Living some good so far. Altimeter is 30.09 until 5,000. that's all looking good.
0 to fizzle 1.
We are away from the runway, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off and retract the landing lights, turn off the runway turn light, turn off the nose light, and that's looking good. Seatbelt sign is on. That's what we want. And we are rapidly approaching cruise altitude. So, yeah, there you go. Easy enough. It's kind of overcast, but that actually is kind of pretty. This is my first officer, Steve. Actually, that's kind of cool. I just noticed that this livery actually puts a United logo onto the little coffee cup here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? So 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210 to fizzle 1.
I forgot to put passengers on the plane. Yeah, believe it or not, that's the pilot's job. But I don't remember how to do it. Oh, payload. So the max is 174, so I'm just going to do like 150. Seems reasonable. Wow. You can actually pick where they sit. I actually haven't played around with this much, so that is, that's super cool. Oh, I could make them load in real time. That would take forever. Yeah, I used to have aspirations of actually doing like a cold and dark startup of the plane and like getting the passengers and the baggage on and all that stuff, and it just takes forever. Like it's an hour before you even get to the runway, and then the flight's like an hour, 90 minutes, and yeah, unfortunately I don't have 2.5 hours in any evening to try to do a stream, but for people who make a living off of it, I totally get why they do it, and I would be right there if I could. So this is actually a pretty nice view out the windshield. Kind of right ahead of us is that like super loud? That is super loud, isn't it? Hopefully it's not that loud when I'm actually inside the cockpit. Excuse me, the flight deck. This is better. It's still pretty loud. So, I mean, yeah, just another issue. I haven't had time to set all this up, obviously. So I'm kind of doing that on the fly. Okay, that's better. Apologies. Okay, so I wanted to point this out on the way. This is Mauna Loa. That is the biggest or the tallest mountain in Hawaii. Both the Big Island and the entire string of islands. And then in the distance, you have Mauna Kea. And on the far side of Mauna Kea is Kilauea, which is the active volcano. And I had a very cool experience of going there to watch the lava erupting at night. And yeah, it is truly incredible. And why not have some show and tell? But I should probably fly the plane a little bit too. I will hit the expedite button to get that descent rolling a bit faster. And I actually really need to start configuring for landing. But I'll leave that open as a reminder to show my lava pictures. So, like I said I was going to do, I was going to land the plane in the, quote, worst possible weather. So I'm going to take off live weather, I'm going to go down to storm, and yeah, you can't see anything at all. Need to go back here. As you can see, my minimum is 400. I actually did a practice run on this, and I assure you I will crash if I set the minimum to 500. So I'm going to make it 1500 just to give myself a little bit of time.
Descend and maintain 6,800 feet. Expect ILS runway 17 approach via Mike Uniform Echo transition cleared to Mike Uniform Echo to Fizzle 1.
So I'm expediting my descent to 6,800 feet. And really hoping I haven't overshot anything too badly. 6,800 feet. Okay, no, the localized was at 1,500, so I still have a ways after that. Okay, let me focus. I have the clouds. I've selected a cloud layer. There's a broken percentage. You can put that. It seems backward to me, but if you put it at 100, it's completely overcast, which is what I'm going to do. It's going to be a completely ILS landing. There's also the density and scatter, and I don't exactly know what those do, but I think they make it even more opaque, basically. So I'm going to put that on maximum. I'm going to put them both on maximum. So basically, there will be no transition, or less of a transition, from like opaque to clear. It'll be more or less instantaneous. And my descent, yeah, I have overshot, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to do some super not official. Why? Okay, something strange is going on, clearly. So you can see that line that swings out around the airport, that is not correct. I'm going to try going direct to Zap 11. See if that helps. Kind of. If I go direct. Is it Becky? That looks a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I need to be descending to 3,000. And I'm like way behind the aircraft, so I'm going to go ahead and do an emergency speed brake here. I'm going to deploy landing gear as a source of drag. And I am coming in for a landing, so I will turn on my lights. I will chime the seatbelt sign. I'm going to arm the speed brakes to... I'm going to do medium, because I think that's what it's supposed to be when it's raining. I'm getting close to that final turn, so I'm going to arm approach mode, turn on the landing system, and I am still way above my target altitude, so yeah, I may actually, this may be a giant miss, and that's a bummer. But that's what you get when you don't practice. So I'm bringing the flaps down as quickly as I can. Target speed is 139 right now. I'm still at 200. Flaps again. I do feel like if I was a pilot and I heard that rain on the windshield, that would be very alarming. I have no idea what this message means. Landing gear. I'm gonna guess LG is landing gear. Okay, flaps are full, and I have officially caught up with the airplane. Speed brake off and armed. Well, I do have the advantage of being able to look outside the plane. And I literally can't even see the landing gear due to my cloud settings. Okay, they are down. So yeah, hopefully they work. Yeah. There's something else kind of cool. No. So one of the coolest features of Microsoft Flight Simulator is the drone camera. Which allows you to move around the aircraft. And you will notice that due to the weather, the wing flex is actually pretty crazy once I hit a gust of wind. That still like blows my mind that's like programmed in here. So, I don't know. I think it's extremely cool. Okay, just about to make that last turn. My altitude is 3,000 by Egypt. I need to be down at 1,500, so I'm anticipating that call out any second. And actually it looks like I'm already picking up the localizer. I have my magenta diamond here, so I think that when I intercept that diamond, it'll put me onto the correct glide slope. 261 at 30. I will go ahead and program that, 261 at 30. So I'm just programming the wind that he provided, and that basically helps with the autopilot. And then I can do the QNH, 192. And the temperature is somewhere, I don't remember. I thought there was a way to look at it on here. Surf or static atmospheric temperature. So I think it's 10. And of course, as an Airbus, this is in Celsius. So that should all be good there. And yeah, continuing my approach, I'm at 7.5 miles and I have intercepted the localizer. There's my 2,500 call out. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready to actually land. Usually I like to disengage the autopilot at 1,000. I set the cloud deck to 1,500, but I don't know. I think there's something wrong with the way that's programmed in the simulator, because I was getting way closer to the ground than that, like literally 100 feet. So I think I set it to 1,500, but I think it's probably going to be like a couple hundred feet above the ground is when it'll clear up. But yeah, anyway, point being here, this would be a beautiful approach. I mean, this is like very scenic. You're right on the coast, and you're looking at you know, lava fields, so it's like black ground. I can show you after the landing. But obviously this is not a beautiful approach. So when my friend asked me, you know, to do a landing in the worst weather possible, well, the truth is, so I'm cleared to land. The truth is, the worst weather possible can appear anywhere. It's, you know, it's just this incredibly thick rain, and obviously a place like Aspen is going to have, you know, potentially very bad, like, snowstorms, but, you know, I think that, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that the worst, you know, oh, that's what I was getting at. He was saying that Aspen was a particularly hard airport, but I think because of the way, you know, we have navigation routes to like guide us into airports, I think any airport can be equally hard. It just depends on the weather conditions.
1,000.
So there's a 1,000 call out, so I'm getting ready to disengage the autopilot and just like literally staring out of the windshield. Also, maybe helps to turn on some wipers and rain repellent. Never ceases to amaze how a game can become so immersive and intense. Like, I feel tense. I don't want to crash. I want to land.
500.
So there's 500. Still can't see anything. Like I said.
400.
We do have Cat 3 on the nav display, which means technically the plane should go into auto land, but I don't know that that actually works
300.
in the simulator, so I'm not going to trust that.
200.
And there's the runway lights, the rabbit, barely visible.
100.
Autopilot is disengaged, and there is the runway.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
It's the retard call out. Wow, flash of lightning.
5.
Okay. That was an extremely rough landing. I'm reversing thrust until I reach 90 knots. Throttle is idle. Pumping the brakes to release the auto brake. And we are down. Okay, yeah, that was a bad landing. Like, there's really no question. It was very hard. It was side loaded. The left wheel hit first, and I think because I was crabbed to the right pretty hard, and you can see the direction of the rain is, you know, the wind is obviously coming from the right. I think that's what caused me to slide to the right like that. But nonetheless, we didn't crash. Everybody survived. I have such bad issues with the throttle here.
Going to 121.9 to Fizzle 1.
Okay, welcome to Kona. Go ahead and clean up the aircraft, put the spoilers down, bring the flaps up. Not paying enough attention to what I'm doing. Oh man. Yeah, I also really struggle with taxiing. I think without having rudder pedals, that's just really difficult. There's the gear. I'm kind of curious just to see. So the brake temps are okay, but and they're not super lopsided or anything like that. But sometimes, if the brake temps are very lopsided, that can tell you that your landing was very side-loaded. So I've been playing this game since August of 2019, and I've been just dying for the day when they release a feature to do a replay of your landings. X-Plane has it, Microsoft Flight Simulator does not, and that is just really a huge oversight in my opinion. And I'm going to run into a truck. No, you keep going. I stopped for you. Turn off my landing lights, run my turn lights, turn the nose light to taxi. And the truck is just going to sit there. Wonderful. So I really have no choice but to run it over. Another glaring issue with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Where is this even bringing me? It's just some random location. Okay, I am parked. My parking brake is on. The engines are coming off, which means I can turn off the beacon. That will signal to the ground crew that I am no longer going to be moving. Seatbelt sign can come off. I can hook up external power. And that's it. That's the flight. On the fly pad here, I can send the baggage truck. There's no jet bridge, but I can click that button anyway. Wheel chocks and safety cones are out, and everything else is good. Wow, I was actually really low on fuel. Maybe should have paid attention to that. Yeah, that was really not much fuel left. So, there you have it. Hilo to Kona. Got a little bit of view of the Big Island and had an extremely rough landing through what I believe is the worst weather possible. Yeah. It's 10:08, so I actually need to get going to the next destination so that I am not staying up all night. So I will go ahead and head back to the main menu. Yeah, just looking at my stream, I feel like the lighting in here is really weird. I actually had to set up a lamp over here, but it's only on one side, so it kind of makes me look like a supervillain or something. But yeah, 90 minutes was enough setup for me. Okay, so I am going from Kona to Honolulu. And they're putting me on runway 4 right, and that seems yes, that is exactly the runway that I want to be on. Awesome. Okay, so high altitude airways. 17, taking that departure is fine. That's actually a really nice route, very close to the islands. That is not the route that I took. I think I came out here, so I actually prefer that for sure. I would need an ILS for right, or do I need a localizer? Actually, I'm not sure. I might want to change that up. I'm gonna do an ILS on 8 right, if they have one. They don't, so I'll do an ILS on 8 left. That is completely fine, and I actually think this is an awesome approach. It actually brings me, wow, look at that. I literally snorkeled right in this bay, so that will be a very cool view. Yeah, I like this route a lot. Cool. So just to recap, I'm 17, Amory, Schley, and ILS 8 left. I'm gonna go ahead and set back to real time and real weather and get going here. And no, I did not forget about showing my lava pictures. I will do that during cruise. So yeah, like I said, the whole airport here at Kona has this black lava rock ground, basically. And that's how much of the Big Island is, just lava-y rock. It's really very cool. It looks like, it's like, I don't know, it's like landing on an alien world. And there's the view that we missed on the approach right there. I don't know what the name of that mountain is right there, actually. And it's going to do the same thing, drive me off into the grass, so I'm going to stop that. 15, blah, 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 checking all the same stuff I did before. Everything's looking good, configured for takeoff, and away we go. This is going to be really beautiful because we are right at sunset. Rotate. degrees, positive rate, gear up, flaps up, throttle to the climb indent, autopilot and auto throttle engaged. Easy as that. So yeah, I chose the Southwest livery because I did in fact fly on Southwest from Kona to Honolulu. You get a little bit of the view of this kind of streak of lava right here. And as I ascend up and away, configure my lights correctly here, I am going to actually use the always wonderful drone camera to actually look at the resort where I and my family stayed. So clouds are blocking a little bit, but this is Mauna Loa, and then this is Mauna Kea, and yeah, like I said, I'm not sure of the name of this peak right here. Climbing to 12,000. Oh my gosh, I think I had him backward. That's embarrassing. Mauna Kea is the north one, Mauna Loa is the south one. Here's the airport, so that peak is Hualalai, I think. And I am actually going way in the wrong direction, so... Okay, I have detached the drone. And I am actually too far away from the island to get there now, I think.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 to Fizzle 1.
Well, especially when it does that. Okay, we got a mess here. I apparently bumped the throttle out of the climb indent into toga mode, and so that sent everything haywire. So now I'm going to climb back to flight level 180. Awesome. Oh, and how nice. It left the drone where it was. So yeah, there I go, that tiny dot way in the distance. There's a plane on approach into Kona over there. The airport is kind of in this area. Well, yeah, that's the airport beacon. So Mauna Loa is the one on the right in the distance. And Mauna Kea is the one on the left. So yeah, like I said, I'm basically just using the drone camera to go and check out the resort where my family and I stayed for the first portion of our trip. And fingers crossed the plane will not crash. So yeah, there's a main road that you can see out there, and you basically just follow that. And there's these patches of green where they've built a resort and are like watering the grass and stuff like that. So it's up here. And okay, let me do that. So it's not this chunk. I think it's the next one up. Yeah. So we got a ways to go, but we'll get there. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So yeah, what I remember is, you know, you had the main road, and you turned off, went for a little ways, skirted around this resort, and then you went down this road that has been constructed, but no housing has been built around it. So it's just like through the middle of black lava stuff, and then you turn in and come down a road here that gets into the resort, and then come down a small road. So the actual building we stayed in was this unit right here, and it's a Vrbo, and then there was like a garage out front, and like, you know, it's not perfect, but for AI, like, I think this looks pretty good. I'm gonna check something real quick. I do have photogrammetry on, right? Where is that? Terrain, buildings, data. I don't remember where that saves. Photogrammetry is on. Excellent. So yeah, there you have it. I'll also show this. I had some of the best snorkeling of my life at a beach just over here. It's a super family-friendly beach, has nice sand, etc. But snorkeling, I saw a white-tip reef shark, I saw a spotted eagle ray, I saw an eel, and I saw my first ever octopus, a day octopus. And all of those things I saw right in this area. I didn't even make it over here. I wanted to, but I mean, I spent like 3 hours snorkeling just here, and it was super awesome. So yeah, don't remember what it's called actually, but it was an amazing beach, and I highly recommend it. Okay, I'm gonna catch up with my plane now. Excellent, it's still flying. So I am approaching flight level 30. Steve's doing good. 300, I should say. There is my flight plan. There is something wrong with it because it's going right past the airport. I didn't even reach 300 and they're telling me to descend to 180. Whatever you say, boss. Just click through my flight plan, see what's going on here. Yeah, obviously something is a little bit messed up, but maybe it'll work itself out, or otherwise I'll have to just do a direct to and come in that way.
Gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until you are trapped alive safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Alright, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. There it is. It's a lava lake. And that's a terrible picture, and no picture would ever do something like this justice. It is extremely cool. I mean, I literally spent probably cumulative 2 hours just staring at it, and it's just bubbling, and there's like many different kind of lava geysers going. It's super cool. If you get a chance to go see it, definitely do that. There's actually not very many places on Earth where you can do that. Just watch lava like that. So very highly recommend that. Here's a picture of the 787 I flew in on. well, it was there. It's the first ever 787 I've flown on, and I gotta say, they are very, very nice planes. And yes, I was totally that guy taking pictures on the tarmac.
Descend and maintain 3,100 feet. Expect RNAV runway 8 right approach via Alana transition. Cleared to Alana Delta 465 heavy.
So this is a really great view. So there's the Big Island back there, I believe. And then this is... Is that Maui? Yeah, so Maui has two different chunks to it, like that. Maui, Lanai, Molokai, that's the name of that one. So that's Maui. This is Lanai, and that's Molokai up there. What a beautiful time of day. And Kaho'olawe? Kaho'olawe? Okay. And then Oahu up here. That's where we're headed. So that's still out of sight. Coming down to flight level 180. See what this approach is looking like, because I don't think it's right. Let me reprogram it and make sure this is working. I was going to 8 left, and my arrival was ILS 8 left, and I was going via... Ooh, I don't remember either of this. Oh yeah, my star was Schley. So Novia and Schley. That doesn't look how I remembered it though. I think it's messed up, but I actually also think it'll probably work. And the route actually looks like it kind of loops over close to the city, which might be pretty cool. So let's see, the time is 4:27 Zulu, so it's 10:27. And I am due at 10:41. Okay. It's kind of critical. I'll explain why that's critical when I get there, but it's actually kind of a surprise, but not really a surprise. So as I was making this flight, okay, continuing my descent. One thing I do need to do that I haven't done yet is get my sky vector open. Give my airport map. So it should be illegal to rotate the maps like that. They should all have to face north. So I'm on, said 8 left, right? So I'm going to be landing on this runway. Yeah, ILS 8 left. ILS 8 left. So there's this fig tree, I suppose. Fig tree at 2200 is my localizer intercept. Yeah, this is like all, I don't think this is correct. It's sending me like up and around. I don't think that's like a real approach. Wait, is it doing that? I can't even tell what it's doing anymore. Oh, is there a discontinuity? Oh, that's why I didn't even notice that. Okay, how do you rectify that? Can I just...
124 decimal 1 to Fizzle 1. Honolulu Center to Fizzle 1 is passing 13,400 feet.
I could just go direct to Jevit, I suppose. Where is Jevit? So Jevit's right there. So I'm gonna need to... Well, okay, so there's a discontinuity. That's fine. I think I can handle that. I think I'm going to get past Schley and then go direct to Jevit, and hopefully that'll like hook me around properly. Yeah, that's the plan. Get past Schley, and then I'll go direct to Jevit. Okay, so my speed is needing to go to 250 knots because I'm getting down below 12,000 feet. I can go ahead and configure some of my landing stuff. So the auto brakes are going to low. I am arming the auto spoilers. May as well turn on the lights, landing lights, nose light, wing light, runway turn light, flip the seatbelt sign for fun. So that's all good.
127 decimal 6 for to Fizzle 1.
Should check my radio navigation.
0,200 feet.
LS frequency 111.70, and that is correct. So that's all looking good. I am just about to run out of fuel, so I'm gonna do some mid-flight refueling. Yeah, I like totally didn't think to check that. I don't know why. It's kind of weird that it doesn't just give you enough fuel, but I definitely don't want to run out. I don't actually...
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Keep speed not above 210 knots to Fizzle 1.
Let's just go to... Oh, crap. Yeah, I think I just broke it. I just broke it. I broke the plane. I broke something. What happened? Alright, that's too bad. I'm gonna try something. I apologize for that noise. I'm gonna see what happens when I travel to fuel. That's what I was trying to mess with. Oh, it just won't let me. I wonder if that's because of the fly pad. I do apologize. I know how irritating that is. So there's some fuel, but the problem is the whole system is messed up at this point, unfortunately. So, yeah, lesson learned, check your fuel. Obviously I have some realism settings that are not going to check that for me. So hopefully skipping forward in the flight will actually okay, so I'm like right on approach right now, which is not really what I wanted, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So that seems to have mostly fixed things. And I'm basically going to panic and see what's configured. Flaps are full, auto brakes are medium. I'm on low, gears down, landing system. Headed toward 3,200 feet. Why am I going downward at all? Autopilot is not engaging correctly. Something very wrong with the autopilot. Well, I can try to land using the flight director. Maybe I should do that. It's kind of an experiment.
Traffic.
Yeah, you know what? I'll try to do that.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Obviously not working. Okay, I'm gonna leave the autopilot off and not worry about that and just try to use the flight director to land. I do not have much hope, but I have some.
2,500.
For those who don't know, the flight director is that green cross in the middle of the nav display, and the principle is you just target the center of that, and that will get you not only lined up horizontally with the runway, but also keep you on glide slope. In this case, however, it's actually not doing that. It's like putting me way above the glide slope. So the glide slope indication are those magenta diamonds. So there's one kind of near the altitude indicator. That's what's telling me if I'm on glide slope.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Yeah.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Sorry, I can't
Don't
mute that
sink.
either.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
I don't know why
Don't
it
sink.
doesn't
Don't
know that
sink.
I'm landing.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
I'm
Don't
not
sink.
sinking. I'm like
Don't sink.
completely stable.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
I assure
Don't
everyone
sink.
this is going to be
Don't
totally
sink.
fine.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
So the
Don't
reason
sink.
everything isn't fine is
Don't
due to
sink.
the auto throttle.
Don't
It is
sink.
not working either
Don't
at this
sink.
point.
Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
So this is a completely
Don't
manual
sink.
landing, and it's going to be brutal.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
If it's
Don't
smoother than
sink.
my other landing,
Don't
I'm going to
sink.
be pretty embarrassed.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
100,
Don't sink.
I know I'm
Don't
high.
sink. Don't sink.
50,
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
retard,
Don't sink. Don't sink.
5,
Well, my landing gear was up apparently. I did check it, right? 1 second. Yeah. I can see on my live stream that the landing gear is in fact down, so I'm not gonna blame myself for that one. Okay, I want to do something else tonight, and it is kind of special. And my parents will have to forgive me for doxing them a little bit, but their flight leaves Honolulu in 10 minutes. And so what I wanted to do with the traffic injector running, I wanted to see if I could actually find their plane. So it leaves at 10:51, so it leaves in 9 minutes, so it's actually like really, really close. So I'm gonna go to FlightAware, and that also remembered the last place I was looking at stuff. Bounce over to Honolulu, zoom in. And I don't see it. Oh, this is how I can figure it out, I think. So I'm looking for a departure at 6:51, I thought. So scheduled departures, here we go. So should be, yeah, this will be it. So it's Delta. And yeah, they're headed to Atlanta. Okay, so I'm looking for DAL836, and let's see, 836 right there. So this is it. This is their flight. Removed. Okay, so I need to get into the sim for that to actually come up. I'm going to use a different plane. I'm going to use an F-18 because I think I can catch up with them, and I'm going to use the number 3 Blue Angel. I'm going to guess they're going to be taking off this. Well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'll just set up on runway 8 left, and I'm going to just jump into it without doing anything. By the way, I don't know anything about flying an F-18. This is literally just kind of, you know, hitting the throttle and moving the stick. Why is the injection still paused? Here we go. DAL836. Okay. Well, it was appearing. It's pre-flight at ramp 141, so I can poke around and see if I can find it. I mean, this is the main terminal, so I know I have to go over there. I should be doing this in a helicopter. If I was smart, I would be. On the bright side, the F-18 does not have reverse thrust, so I don't need to worry about the indents when I use the throttle on this plane. I can just hit 0. I go ahead and park here because I still have plenty of space to take off. And hit the parking brake, and then switch over to the camera drone. So obviously they're at the main terminal somewhere, but it does not appear, it doesn't appear the injector is actually working properly, unless they're already taxiing. And it also only it only populated like a few planes. Additional parked aircraft. 1. So that might be the issue. I wonder if I stop the injector and restart it. Let me try that. IFR 40, VFR 10, current 1, additional parked aircraft. I'm going to do the max of 10. Absolute parked aircraft. I don't understand what that means, so I'm going to do 100 and then leave everything else the same. So let's see what happens there. 73 parked aircraft. So they should be parking, or they should be taking off in like literally a minute. So it doesn't seem to be working quite right. Unfortunately. And I'm noticing some pretty severe choppiness, which is a sign that it's trying to load them in, but not able to. Oh, wait, there they are. They all are stacked in a weird clump right here, it looks like. Microsoft Flight Simulator. At its finest, right there. Well, you can see the Delta winglet right there. I bet you that's the plane. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if that would actually work. So it is taxiing right now, so. But obviously this is glitching out horribly. So I think what I'll do is I'll just wait until it takes off and then try to chase it, which is exactly why I'm using the F-18. It's too bad. I kind of wonder what happens if I just quit and load back in. Or I could just hit restart. Let me try that real quick. Yeah, they're all just stacked in that same spot. Yeah, you can see him over there. Well, I have a dream that someday the traffic injector will work properly, and that will be an extremely cool feature. In the meantime, enjoy a nice view of downtown Honolulu and Diamond Head straight ahead. I'll check out this plane real quick, maybe that's it. Generic A320. Yeah, clearly this is not going to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just mess around a little bit. And once they take off, oh, there it goes. So they're taking off on that runway right there. So nothing visible yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get up in the air and see if I can chase them. Wow, I do not know how to fly this. Gears coming up, flaps are coming up.
Honolulu approach Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra is type Boeing 1 miles north of Honolulu, 300 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Squawk 5267 Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra. Clearance to Bravo airspace Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra.
So, a little bit choppy, but if nothing else, you get a nice view of downtown Honolulu. Air show style. See Ala Moana Park, just to the left with the lagoon, and the hotel we stayed at. Kind of a taller building right here. And then there's the other lagoon. Actually, no, that was not correct, but yeah, if you know, you know. And there's Diamond Head. It's actually pretty high fidelity.
Frequency change approved Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra.
hit pause for a second and try to see if I can get my performance a little bit better. Take the global down to medium, see if that helps. I think the problem is not a GPU problem. I think it's the CPU trying to process, there it is, DAL836 en route. Yeah, okay, well, I'll have to hunt for it then. Where is it? There, okay, so it's already out in the open. So if it's loaded into the SIM, I should be able to find it.
Honolulu approach Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, 2,700 feet. 127.6 for Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra. Honolulu Center Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, 4,600 feet.
So I think it must be that, right? No, it's like down here.
Going to 125.0 Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra. Kaneohe approach Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, 8,100 feet. Going to 127.6 Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra. Honolulu Center Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, 8,600 feet.
See a plane out there, kind of in the right direction. Now what I don't remember is how to actually engage the afterburners. I think that plane seems like it's roughly in the right spot, but it looks like it's traveling in the wrong direction. But, yeah, and I don't know what the lag is. Yeah, that plane is coming toward me, it looks like. So the other problem is there could be lag between when FlightAware gets the data and when it's and when the traffic injector injects it. But what's weird is the plane that's dead ahead is not showing up on the VFR map here. There's no plane straight in front of me.
Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, 12,200 feet. Boeing X-ray Golf Sierra, having Airbus in sight.
Okay, but it is headed in the right direction, so that's something. And it's in approximately-ish, kind of the right location. And it is a Delta, so that's going to be it. I am almost certain. So let's see how close we can get. Now, if I am my father's son, and I am almost certain that he would have picked a window seat on the left side of the aircraft. So that is the side that I think I will fly on. I can't actually tell if it's a... It's hard to confirm that it is actually a 787. And actually, I'm not sure if that's what it said in FlightAware. No, it's an A350. Okay, so yeah, that does look more like an A350 than a 787 for sure. Okay, here's the goal. The goal is to get close enough to read the tail number and see how accurate the injector is. Like, does the injector actually update tail numbers? I mean, I think that would be really cool, and I actually think that wouldn't be that hard to program. This is giving me a new appreciation for how pilots can intercept other planes. I actually think it would help a lot if I knew how to use the autopilot, because then I could just set the speed to whatever I thought their speed was. Which, I mean, obviously at this altitude, it's still 250 knots or less. Well, this says 444, so I don't know. It doesn't seem accurate. But more likely the injector is what's inaccurate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I just don't have good enough control. I'll give it a couple more tries, and then I will take the cheater's way out and just use the drone camera. Oh, there we go. That was pretty quick. All right, let me just do it the easy way. I actually can't take forever to do this because my plane is still flying and it's not an autopilot. N514DN. N514DN. Whoa. N514DN. Let's see how accurate it is. N514DN. Oh no, upgrade account to CTL number. Are you kidding me? Well dang, that's a bummer. Wonder if there's somewhere else. what did I say? N541DN? N5, oh no, did I already forget it? N541DN? It is, oop, I crashed. But this is really cool because N541DN is in fact an A350 operated by Delta. So, nerd that I am, I think that's really cool. That means the traffic injector is actually taking the tail number and all the route data and, you know, creating the plane with the correct livery, flying the correct route with the correct tail number into the game. And that's super cool. It's too bad it was like really buggy at the airport, and I'm pretty sure I've had that issue before because I've had multiple situations where, like, as I approach a busy airport, the game will just start to like bog down and eventually crash. Well, I think it's been a good stream here. There's a bunch of stuff that I would totally do around Hawaii as far as sightseeing. I mean, run through like all the various places that I went and just see, you know, how the simulator stacks up against the real world. But I think, you know, tonight I wanted to do that first flight where from Hilo over to Kona, and just to sort of run through what the worst weather possible situation is for landing. I had a very rough landing, but everybody survived. So as they say, any landing you can walk away from is a good one. And yeah, after that, I flew from Kona over to Honolulu, where I tried to find my parents' outbound flight. Actually, my mom's mom, so my grandmother, is also on that flight right now. So yeah, and I was able to catch up with that plane using a F-18 with the Blue Angel livery, number 3, and that I don't know, it's kind of cool. So yeah, those are the things I wanted to accomplish in this stream, and maybe another time I'll fly around some of the other places that I went in Hawaii. In particular, I would love to check out the Kilauea crater and see how that renders. I might try to do that in like a helicopter. You know, there's constant tourist helicopters there. Then I could also head down to the Hawaii Sea Arch, which is another thing we saw. Could share some photos of that. I did show photos of the lava. And yeah, you know, yeah, that could be cool. So, in any case, and as always, if you watch the stream, I hope you enjoyed, and whether or not you enjoyed, I hope you have a wonderful evening.